crafting journey here. That journey chick on Instagram. The cats they've had a little bit of their catnip snack. So you're going to see them running in and out today. All right, let's get our planner. I've got the sling on just to remind me not to overdo it like I did yesterday, because yeah, it still really hurts. You know, I tried to lift it and kind of rotate it, and that's not just gonna, it's just not gonna happen. So I need to find a doctor today. Doctor, yeah. So we'll get out our planner, the one that we beautifully decorated. Here we go. Today is October 19th. Tuesday. There's nothing special about Tuesday. See, Monday you get free coffee at Dunkin' Donuts, but Tuesday Tuesday is just Tuesday. I don't even think there's like lives on tonight. Maybe Trevor will go live. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, today is National Kentucky Day. We're going to celebrate that great state. Kentucky Day, where they have the Kentucky Derby and mint juleps. Oh my God, if you could see this cat, she's attacking her dinosaur. And over here. Okay. All righty. Oh, here, I got to write this in because this is very important. I have got to get my tag. So let's just say registration, car registration. I have to do it this month, $300. And that will have to wait until payday. See the little dollar bills there? Yeah, then I will pay my car registration. I need to pay the cable bill too. Cable. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to plan out when I'm going to pay the rent. Got to pay the rent too, apparently. Now that'll be this one here, rent. Rent. It's going to be a tight 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, all that money going out. I have so many bills. That did not stop me from purchasing from Diamond Art Club yesterday. I got this email from them that said they were giving away $2,000, 20 $100 bills. And what they're doing is they're going to put, if anybody that buys a painting starting yesterday through October 24th, they're going to put in random boxes $100 bills. So I'm like, oh, I like those odds, because it's not from the purchases over the weekend. It's purchases starting yesterday through the 24th through the app. So I went through the app and I got one that I've been wanting for so long, the Crazy Cat Lady. So I just love that one. It's huge, but I love that painting. And I don't know, since leaving TSA as an affiliate, I feel very free to buy as much Diamond Art Club as I want. I really like Diamond Art Club. I really like their artwork. I like their variety. And this one, it's one of those where you have to find all the cats. I think there's 14, 15, 16 cats in this picture. I'll unbox it for you when I get it. It's going to be pretty cool. So what can we say about Kentucky? Not a lot. They were the 15th state to be granted statehood, the first state west of the Appalachian Mountains. And they're known for, like, they have, like I said, the Kentucky Derby, mint juleps, which I don't even know what that is. So I don't do horse races. Have I ever been to a horse race? Yes, I think I have been to a horse race. Or was that dogs? Dogs or horses? No, I think it was a horse race that I went to. And it was kind of fun. It was a horse race. Because I remember going, like, before you go into the grandstand to watch the races. Well, first you got to place your bet. But before that, you can walk around and see the horses in their stalls and look at how pretty they are because they're beautiful. Anyway, Kentucky has a lot of musical roots, bluegrass, you know, all that stuff. They also have these Mammoth Caves, and they're called Mammoth not because they're huge, but because of they're long. They're these long caves that you can go through. That I've never done, but that would be kind of cool. Yeah, I would be afraid that I would get lost, or my battery flashlight would run out, or you know, something. But I'm guessing you have a guide if you go through there. Have anybody done that? Gone through the caves in Kentucky? Now, my family did live in Kentucky. My dad was in the Army, and one of the places he was stationed was Kentucky. I want to say my brother was born there. I don't remember. I just remember we lived on this like little slope, and it's my first memory of snow. I remember, you know, being there in the winter and sliding down the hill, and my mom would go out and get the fresh snow and make some kind of a dessert out of it. You know, I don't know what it was, but that's my first memory of snow, is living in Kentucky. Yeah, I think it's also where my sister and I were playing, and the ice cream man came by, and I don't know what happened. We got into an argument, and she fell and busted her chin open, and she had to go get stitches, and that was all in Kentucky. She probably has no memory of that. She's going to watch this show and go, Rebecca, what are you talking about? Yeah, it happened. I remember. And I got a spanking for that. Oh, yeah. I don't even know how old I was. Probably 6 or 7. I don't know. Yeah. I got my butt tore up for that. Yeah. It wasn't my fault, Mom. It was her fault. Oh, well. What is going on? Oh, that's all I know about Kentucky. So if you're from Kentucky, do I have any subscribers from Kentucky? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. What's your favorite part about living there? Let me know. Why should I come there and visit? Now, I've already got Alaska on the bucket list. You know what my bucket list has on it? 2 things. Alaska and Jasper National Park up in Canada. Those are the 2 places I want to go before it kicked the bucket. So I got a long time to go. All right, let's do Judge, Jury, and Journey. And I got another scary story for you today. So there are 3 cases that are all in jury selection, and I'd love to cover them all. I'll tell you which one I really want to cover after I tell you about each one. First one is Markeith Lloyd. He is accused in this trial of murdering a police officer in Walmart. She was trying to apprehend him for murdering his ex-girlfriend who was pregnant. Now, he's already had trial for the murder of his ex-girlfriend who was pregnant, and he got life in prison. So now he's on trial for the murder of the police officer who was trying to apprehend him. It's all on videotape. To me, this is kind of a cut and dry case. I think they'll probably very quickly come to the conclusion that yes, he did it, and then they'll go into the death penalty phase. But right now, they're still trying to choose a jury. It's a very long, arduous process because these jurors are being told that once they're chosen, they're going to be sequestered for what should be a 3-week trial. Who wants to be sequestered for 3 weeks? No, thank you. So that means like no social media for 3 weeks. You know what I would do? Take lots of yarn. That's what I do. Lots of yarn. I would get so much done. Diamond paintings and yarn. I'd actually probably be fine. Anyway, the next trial is Nicholas Cruz. He is the young man who went in with a weapon to the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School and murdered 17 of his fellow students. The jury selection on that starts today. Now, It's rumored that he's going to plead guilty to all of that, and that they're only going to try the death penalty phase of the case. I don't know if that's true. And then the third case is the Ahmad Arbury case. This is where 3 white men were chasing Ahmad Arbury. He's out jogging, and they had a series of break-ins in their neighborhood. This is in South Carolina or Georgia? South Georgia. It's in South Georgia. So he's out jogging. They're thinking, oh, that must be the guy who's been breaking into our neighborhood. They chase him down and they murder him. So all 3 of those white men are up on trial together. They're going to start jury selection today. Well, they actually started yesterday, and that will probably be 2-3 weeks for them to pick a jury. So whichever one starts first is which. I'll try to cover them all and give you the highlights of each one of them, because they're all 3 really good, fascinating cases. So I'll let you know how that pans out. But I do have a scary story for you today. This is about the Holmes family. Mrs. Holmes and her husband Gilbert, they lived in Wichita, not Wichita, but Kansas. I live in Wichita. They lived in Colby, Kansas, which is in Thomas County, which from me, it's like if you look at the state, it's kind of a square. They're up in the northwest corner, almost towards Colorado. There's nothing but like prairie land. At the time that they were there, the late 1800s, early 1900s, and they lived in this, what they call a sod house. They called it their soddy for short. And here is a picture of a sod house. It's quite interesting. It's made out of sod. And the inside, like the floor is all dirt, and they just cover it with carpets. That must have been a huge mess, but they were comfortable. It was their home. But she had ailing parents that lived in the eastern part of Kansas. And at that time, given their level of transportation, which was horses, it was going to take quite a bit of time for her to get to eastern Kansas to visit her elderly parents. So she sets out. She's going to, they say their goodbyes. I love you. See you later. And she leaves and goes to eastern Kansas to visit her parents. He had arranged to herd some mules over to the next farm, and they were waiting for him at this farm. They knew that Gilbert was on his way with these mules. He's on his horse and he's driving the mules to this farm, with this, I don't know how they do it, but he was wrangling the mules to the next farm. And the lead rope for one of the mules gets caught around his leg, and he bends down on his horse. He bends down in the saddle to try to unhinge his leg from this lead rope, and he gets pulled off the horse, and it spooks the mule, and the mule starts running. Now he's hogtied to this mule, and the mule is dragging him 3 to 4 miles past these people that were expecting him. They had come down. They were going to help herd the mules back to their farm. And they're looking and like, whoop, there goes Gilbert. Like, oh my God. So they see what's going on. They get on their horses. They go stop the mule. And poor Gilbert, his back is just torn to pieces. Because for 3 to 4 miles, he has been drugged to the point where like he's got no skin left on his back. You can see his organs, and they're like, oh my God, there's nothing we can do for this guy. But they take him, they bring him back to their house, they try to nurse him, but he passes away during the night. So, poor Gilbert. Now, they can't wait for the internment till she gets back, because that would be days and days and days. They can't let this dead body sit there. They didn't have, embalming fluid back then, but so they had to go ahead and bury him in this cemetery. So they bury him, give him a headstone. So poor Mrs. Holmes, she never sees her husband again. She comes back. They do a funeral. She gets all of her things out of the sod home, and she moves back to eastern Kansas to live with her elderly parents and take care of them. So poor Gilbert, He's buried here in this cemetery. So what happens is now these two men on horse, they're on their way to a literary event at the local sod schoolhouse. They're going to learn all about literature, these two guys on horseback. I never heard of this, but okay, I'll go with it. So they're riding, and it was very windy, because it can get very windy here in Kansas. Like yesterday, we had 40-mile-an-hour winds. So it's very windy, and they see this abandoned sod house, because they didn't get rid of it, the Holmeses. They just left it. He died. She went back to eastern Kansas. So it's abandoned. So they see it and they're like, oh, like we can get in there out of the wind and light our pipes. So they go in and they're bent over and they're lighting their pipes. And they don't notice this glow that starts to happen around the windows. And finally, one guy looks up and he's like, oh my God, what is that? It was this weird light. And the other guy looks up and he's like, so the light kind of goes around the house, and then it goes outside the house. So they follow it outside. And then when it gets outside, it's like a beam, and it's going up the road and taking this very circuitous route. But so they're following it. They like get on their horse and like, hey, let's follow this light, because it's very curious. So they take their horses, they follow the light. It ends up at the cemetery over Gilbert Holmes's grave and disappears. Now, for the next 5-10 years, people see this light, and they all knew that this was Gilbert Holmes. They all thought they called it the Holmes light, and it would start in the sod house, and it would take the circuitous route where the mule had drug him, and it would end up at the gravesite. Well, there was a point in time where Mrs. Holmes comes back, and she she gets the body exhumed, and they take the body back to eastern Kansas and bury it there. No one ever sees this light again. It's gone. She took Gilbert away. The light went away. Yep, that light was Gilbert. What? Yeah. True story. That's one of the haunted stories from Kansas. So I'll bring you another one tomorrow, okay? Spooky. So what happened this day in history? I did a video yesterday. You know what? I need to put that in my planner. I actually did some videos. I did a short. YouTube has his shorts in beta where you can do up to 60 seconds. So I did a real quick one, which was the drills that I got from diamondpaintingdrills.com. So I'm going to say unbox. I did an unboxing as well. Unboxing of glow-in-the-dark drills. And don't forget, they are on sale all month long. The glow-in-the-dark drills from diamondpaintingdrills.com. There's a link down in my description, and there's a code that you can use that through the end of the month. Hashtag Monster10. If you use that code, you get 10% off. The glow-in-the-dark. Because if you're doing something for Drills and Chills or, the Monster family, Monster Mash, hey, wouldn't that be fun to add glow? I'm adding glow-in-the-darks to mine. Yeah. I don't come here. I haven't come in the craft room at night to see if it glows. I did do some left-handed diamond painting yesterday, or did I? I did a little bit, yeah. I haven't diamond painted at all during this show. I know, I didn't even get them out because I'm not very good at left-handed diamond painting. Yeah, so I am going to go get this looked at. Okay, this day in history. On October 19th, 1982, John Delorean, now we all know who John Delorean is, he's arrested for a $24 million drug deal. Now, he hires some fancy lawyers and he gets acquitted of that. But his financial trouble, he had financial troubles nearly his entire career. That DeLorean car it just didn't sell well. It was priced at $25,000 at a time where you could get like a souped up Corvette for $12,000. So people just weren't going for this DeLorean. It had the side doors that would go up, and it was featured in the film Back to the Future. And originally, Steven Spielberg was going to use refrigerators instead of the DeLorean for this futuristic car. He was going to use refrigerators, but he got talked out of it because they were afraid that if they used refrigerators, little kids would start getting into refrigerators and getting, if they get stuck in a refrigerator, that they die. So he's like, we're not going to use refrigerators. We're going to use this DeLorean. But John DeLorean was already in so much financial problems. This did not help him out one bit, unfortunately. Yeah. So he owed a lot of money. The whole $24 million drug thing was really an entrapment by the FBI to kind of bring him down, and that's why he was acquitted. He just claimed the defense of entrapment, and the jury bought it. I don't blame them. Mired in legal problems, his entire career. It's very sad, but cool car, huh? All right, guys, that is the show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button, and then don't forget to take him to Sonic and let him try the lemonade. It's pretty darn good. But don't tell him, and then change it out with lime. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty mean. Please subscribe. I'm sure if you made it all the way through the show and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you don't miss another episode of Crafting and Crime Daily. Yep. Or uploads like diamond painting drills. Yep. I'll see y'all later. Bye.